All right, day 5, weaker, stronger brother controversy. Let's continue in Romans chapter 14. So then, verse 19, so then, let us pursue what promotes peace and what builds up one another. Do not tear down God's work because of food. So the first thought process of this morning is pursue peace. We see in Romans, as far as it is possible with you, live at peace with all men. What does it look like to pursue peace? It essentially is you quitting thinking that the world revolves around you. Remember what you are? You're a doulos. You're a slave of Christ. What do slaves have in common? They have a master. They don't get the opportunity to do whatever they want. They do what the master tells them to do. And one of the things that the master tells us to do is be like him. Remember Philippians chapter 2? Have the same mindset of that of Christ Jesus, who being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. He humbled himself, become obedient to death, even death on a cross. You see, our master came and he was a servant. If you want to be great, you become least. If you want to be first, you become last. This is the economy of God. And what he's saying right here is, let us promote peace. Remember, this is in the context of these gray issues. So let's say I have a stronger conscience and I can eat meat sacrificed to idol. Well, when I invite Susie Homemaker and Joey over, do I flaunt my freedom? Do I say, oh yeah, here's dinner. It was sacrificed at the temple today. No, I don't do that. How about a modern day thing? If I'm driving a vehicle and I'm going and I pick you up, what should be on the radio? Yeah, Christian music should be on the radio until I can figure out what your conviction is. How about we go to a restaurant? Should I order alcohol? Probably not until we have a good enough relationship that I can know where your faith-based decisions are made. Have you made faith-based decisions? We want to pursue peace. It says this, do not tear down God's work because of food. And that's so foolish. Can you imagine God sitting up there, guys, it's just food. It's just drink. Just do my commandments. Just do what I'm asking you to do. So pursue peace. Next, everything is clean. We've already seen that. We know that because of his pronouncement, but it is wrong to make someone fall by what he eats. This is the same thought process of the scandalon, okay? It's the same thought process of the scandalon. Verse 21, it is good thing not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything that makes your brother or sister stumble. So essentially, do you want to know if you're truly free? Do you want to know if you've made a faith-based decision and you're free in that decision? Can you not do it? You know, going to the Master's University, you have, people when they graduate and they want to go out and do the whole alcohol thing, right? And it's that age group. It's like, oh, we're free. We can do this. We can do this. And then the whole relationships end up, who's bringing the alcohol? Do you think that person is really free? No, they're using their freedom as a cover up for evil. They're actually enslaved to their freedom. You know, if you're truly free is, hey, I can set the meat aside. Hey, I don't need to watch that movie. Hey, I can put my mask on. Hey, I don't have to do this. Hey, I can listen to that. And this can go on both sides, both directions. This can have the consequence of maybe you're being led by the Spirit and it's like, man, at this particular moment with this particular person, it just feels like I maybe should have a drink with him. And it's not because it's you're trying to battle no, you made a faith-based decision. I'm free. I can do that. I'm free. I don't. But let's say I'm in a situation and it's an evangelism and it just like the Spirit, that's going to break down a barrier. True freedom says, well, it's free. Let me do this in order to have the sake of the gospel, to pursue peace, to have love, to make sure that we are going after the commandments. So be very, very careful that you pursue peace. Be careful that you restrict your freedoms if needed. But listen to this, he continues. It is good not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything that makes your brother or sister stumble. Whatever you believe about these things, keep between yourself and God. Listen to this. Blessed is the one who does not condemn himself by what he approves. All right? Here's the thing about gray issues. You can still be wrong. Your heart might not be correct. You might actually be enslaved to your freedoms. And that's why it's so important to fast sometimes from your freedoms. I can tell you this, I love Coke. I love it. I'll drink it. I love it. There are moments in which I simply don't drink Coke. If you ever watch me do soccer, sometimes you will see me coaching and there will be a Coke next to my bench, unopened, just sitting there. Because I like it, but I'm specifically saying, you know what, I'm not going to have that to make sure that I am in control of my body. You see, we don't want to approve things that really maybe our hearts are condemning. And so we need to pursue peace. We need to restrict our freedoms if needed. We need to understand that we still might be wrong. We need to check our hearts. You need to ask yourself, why are you so frustrated with this whole mask situation? Because it's dumb? Okay, it's dumb. But if someone else is wearing a mask and you walk up, what would be the loving thing, the pursuing peace thing to do for that particular person? They've showed their conviction. They have the mask on. What should you do? Get in their grill and just start talking? No, you should always carry a mask on you and put it on. For the sake that this mask works? No, it probably doesn't work. For the sake of love, for the sake of peace, for the sake of considering someone better than yourself, this situation with COVID-19 has actually brought up this weaker, stronger brother controversy more than any other time in my particular life in ministry. Is like you have people on both sides of the coin. You have, you do this, and if we don't stand up, and you have other people, no, we need to obey the local government here. No, the Constitution, bad. We need to wear masks. Masks are bad for you. It's crazy. This passage becomes really, really important for our time. Blessed is the one who does not condemn himself by what he approves. But listen to this. But whoever doubts stands condemned if he eats, because his eating is not done from faith. And everything that is not done from faith is sin. We need to understand that a gray issue needs to have a decision linked up with it. If you're not making decisions, faith-based decisions, you're actually sinning. You're called to be a decision maker. Now listen, this doesn't mean that in the course of your life, some of your convictions sway back and forth. I was here and now I'm here. I'm not going to wear a mask. And now I'm like, you know what? I am going to wear a mask. I can worship in service. And now it's like, something's pricked my heart. I need to go out of service. That doesn't necessarily mean you're double-minded. It means that you're trying to live out these gray issues with conviction, with purpose, and with faithfulness for the glory of God. Remember, all of these things, whatever we do, whether we eat or drink, it's all for the glory of God. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about him. It's about being a reconciler, and it's about building forth peace. God bless.